what I've found is there are a lot of lefties are slanted in directions that I'm not particularly comfortable with. And I want to encourage you guys to watch everyone you're interested in. If you like Peter Coffin's content, or if you like Angie Speaks content, you should remember that I'm not like telling you not to view their content or anything dumb like that. I'm only expressing my opinions on their content. But I would encourage you to look at what they do and what they say a little more critically. So here's my claim. When I say class reductionist, what I'm usually referring to is people who believe, or people who downplay or obfuscate the importance of social progress in favor of class-oriented progress, strictly along an economic line. Usually this is a Marxist bent. It's not just income inequality, it's relationship to the means of production. Now, and I want to be perfectly clear from the beginning, class and relationship to the means of production is really important when it comes to determining the level of privilege a person has in a society. That's unique to our society today, right now. For example, in 1930s Germany, it does not matter how much money you have. The ultimate superseding determiner of whether or not you are integrated fully into society is race. Race and religion, or ethnicity, I guess. Not wealth. You could be the wealthiest Jew in the world in 1934 Germany, but it would not save you from what's coming for you. Here in America, you can be a minority of any kind. Being wealthy will almost always save your ass. I would take the life of a hyper-wealthy Jewish, trans, black, whatever person over the life of like a cis straight white male who's very poor. I think that generally speaking, wealth and class override a lot of other privileges and lack thereof. But that claim is not the same as the claim that fixing class issues will automatically fix all social issues, or what's more, and this is the much stupider one, the claim that social issues are a distraction from class issues. Gonna go collect some more quotes. Wait, are we like quote mining over here on the site chat? What are we looking at over here? Oh, no, no, no. Oh, here we go. This is from Peter Coffin. If the majority of a marginalized group is rich, they're not marginalized. That's why you need to talk about class when you talk about LGBTQ issues. It quickly dispels a lot of the myths. Most are poor and working class. We just don't hear from people in trailer parks in the media. So there are a couple of problems with that. First of all, there is no group for whom the majority of people are rich apart from the rich. There's no demographic of people where over 50% are wealthy, except for the people who are wealthy. Even obviously. So the term majority here is kind of worthless. But the implication here is still kind of weird. Like the idea that like you're not marginalized if you're like a generally wealthy group. Gay people on average are wealthier than straight people for a complicated set of reasons. Jews are on average wealthier than Gentiles here in America. But that obviously doesn't track onto an accurate map of oppression, does it? It's just a very weird way of, it's just a really weird way of approaching politics. Intersectionality is a very effective way of organizing people around shared causes. That was one of the things that made Frederick Hampton so dangerous. That's why the government had him killed. It wasn't because Frederick Hampton was anti-racism. There were plenty of anti-racist people. And it wasn't because Frederick Hampton was anti-capitalist. There were plenty of anti-capitalist people. It's because Frederick Hampton was unique, or at least very exceptional, in his ability to mobilize people along those shared lines of power. You know, we're not going to fight white capitalism with black capitalism. We're not going to fight fire with fire. We're going to fight fire with water. We're going to fight white capitalism with black socialism. Frederick Hampton, the guy who probably got me into populist leftism, and I love the man for it, was very much of the opinion that it is through the advocacy of race issues very often that you can bring people towards class issues. And on the flip side, ignoring race issues in favor of class issues usually leaves some groups of people out in the cold. Hold on. With the 1069, prioritizing issues doesn't make you a reductionist. Brendan, I've never made the claim that somebody is a reductionist simply for prioritizing class issues. If a person spent their entire career exclusively talking about class issues and nothing else, that would not be enough for me to call that person a class reductionist. It's when people start saying stuff like, social issues are a distraction from class issues, that I start to get a little bit concerned, because that's just not true. That's not true. What is true is that liberal identity politics gets in the way of class concerns. But we don't advocate for liberal identity politics here in the left. We advocate for real, genuine, intersectional identity politics. And the recognition that if you are fighting for the rights of black bodies in this country, you are often fighting for their right to resist the systems of oppression that people of other races are as well, and up to and including capitalism. And that if you can work with people on a level they understand intuitively, you can push them over to a set of ideological positions that are, you know, better associated with our own. There's a reason why black people in the United States are more likely to think positively of socialism than white people, by a huge margin too. There's data on that out there. You can probably Google it. I can't show it right now because I'm on my phone, but it definitely exists. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is because black people have a history of black liberators who are also anti-capitalists. Malcolm X was not a class reductionist. Martin Luther King Jr. was not a class reductionist. Frederick Hampton was not a class reductionist. These men recognized the value in simultaneously advocating for these intersectional lines of anti-oppression. And the legacy of their work, the effectiveness of their work is evident, because if we look right now, a fuck ton of black folk in this country think positively of socialism. Far more than non-black folk. That's a legacy of their effectiveness. And I want to live in the shadow of that legacy. I want to believe that there is no conflict whatsoever between the interests of people fighting for black folk, for BLM or what have you, and the interests of people who are fighting to end capitalism, because these interests are one and the same, and they may have at different points in time different levels of relevance. If we're doing some kind of anti-capitalist march, we probably don't need like well-meaning liberals doing some BLM bullshit where they're trying to like bring everything down to like, we need more black CEOs or whatever. But again, that's liberal lid pull. We aren't in favor of liberal lid pull. I don't see anyone in the lefty sphere talking about more lefty black CEOs. And likewise, if we're at a BLM rally and then some white folks in mass take the fucking loudspeaker and start screaming about capitalism to an audience that may not be on their level yet, again, we're losing people here. This isn't hard. This is very basic coalition building. I had a class for this in uni. God damn it. And I got a C+ because I don't do my homework, but I took the class and I learned the goddamn lessons. It is important to recognize that one issue fought for is not time taken away from another issue fought for. And I know this because every single day I get messages from people telling me they were radicalized by my videos, and often the video that set them down the path of interest was not a video about labor theory of value. It was not a video about the falling rate of profit. It was not a video about my specific opinion on Marx's writings on the Paris Commune. It was a video on me dunking on some transphobe, or a video on me talking about structural racism. Once you get people keen on certain axes of oppression, they're more likely to see them elsewhere. There are so many people out there who are amicable to our ideas who will never be reached by dry class exclusionary discussion, but must instead be reached by being shown that the language of anti-oppression works in many directions. And that is what I try to do. All right, let's not make this a clout thing. Okay.